Ooh, upgrades. Alrighty, welcome back everybody, and yes, this hangar got a lighting upgrade thanks to the fine folks here at the Ellington Airfield. And this is the hangar where we keep the F-100, so she had to go outside for a little bit, and well, we got a little bit of a mess underneath her that we got to clean up. And what this does help with is back there, is we have a whole bunch of spare parts like gaskets and O-rings and all sorts of other things. So I'm going to dig through that and see if we have a spare relay on hand. Now, as far as the F-100 goes, and yes, this is one hell of an upgrade. So let's go see where she's at. Right there. So she got parked outside just so they can get in there with the lifts and get into the overhead. So I don't think we're moving her back today. I did see that the airport's got their man lift in the hangar still. I don't know if they got any more work to go. But if we go in here, this is what the lights used to look like. It's the old sodium vapor fixtures. They work, but those LEDs are a lot nicer. And it's the same ones that we got in the F-4's hangar, which we'll head over there here in a moment. All right, so something I did want to address is with the GoPro cameras here. Something I noticed, especially when I edit all these together, is that the lens on these, since these are fixed lenses, for those that don't know, they once I get close to something, it goes out of focus, and there's no autofocus on these things, not much of one anyway. But on the second GoPro that I got, I upgraded the lens on it to be a close-up lens, so whenever I get into that way you guys can see a lot better detail on various things, like whether it's schematics or whatever. So nice little, really can't wait to put this to use for you guys. All right, let's look through the stockpile. So yes, got lots of parts, but here's a pile of electrical stuff I want to sift through. That's a relay, but that's not. What's the schematic show? That is definitely not what I'm looking for. All right, that's a basic relay. There's plenty of those in the F-4. Ooh. You gotta be kidding me. Let's see what that says. 50 amp, normally open. Coil is 115 volt AC. Contacts are rated at 28 volt DC. What? That looks, schematically, that looks very similar to what's in the book. There's a part number on it. We'll go match that up. Holy crap, we might actually have a relay. Well, let's bring this over to F4. Alrighty, so here's the book. And right here, DC Essential Bus Relays. And you remember there are two flavors of this thing. One of them that looks like that, and the other one that looks like that, which is the one we have. It's got 3 terminals down each side, plus the coil terminals on one end. Alright, so we got 2 part numbers here. DC Essential Bus Relay, where are you at? Right there. 6042845 is one part number, and MS27222-3 is the other one. So let's take a peek at this thing. Yeah, I'm going to clean this up, but this is how it's oriented in the jet with the coil terminals. Coil terminals are here, and then your switch contacts are here. Let's see, here we are.
Charlie, were you? Yeah.
MS27222-3. That part number matches. Hey, we got a. Holy crap, we do have a spare relay. Alrighty, guys, so here we got the relay cleaned up. We got all of our contacts are nice and labeled. we're just going to continuity check this coil and see what we got. Remember, the one last week was open, so even if you did put power to it, the coil wouldn't conduct and pull the switches closed, because these are normally open until you energize the coil, and then all the switches close to go from one side to the other. Alright, so let's get it on resistance. Let's see what we got. 0.77 mega ohms. Okay, well, that's better than last week's, but that's a bit high. Let's see, make sure there's not a diode in here that's same reading. That it's a little different. That okay, there might be something in here in the circuit to keep the power draw low. Is remember that whenever the jet's operational, normal operation is this thing is closed the entire time the systems have power. So as long as the coil is a load, doesn't draw much power, it won't get too hot. But it did clean up very nicely. Alright, we're going to put power to this thing and see what we get. So whenever we do that, as soon as we apply power here, we should be able to meter from A1 to A2 and get something like this on the meter. It should be a very low resistance path from one side to the other, and it's the same on the Bravo contacts and the Charlie contacts. So it's normally open, you energize it, and you get that. Alright, so let's get that set up and let's make some noise. Alright, so here's our setup. So our ground wire is going straight to X2, just like it is in the schematics. And phase A comes through, passes through the fuse block. We're going to protect this because this is rated at 10 amps, not whatever this needs. So we're just going to throw a half amp fuse on it and go from there. And comes through the switch over to X1. So that should turn on the coil. And then we have the meter set up so that once we turn this on, we can volt check this here and then move these leads back and see it should change states. It should show something other than open, which it is now. So let's go fire up the Dash 60 the NC8 and make a little noise.
That's 120 across the coil. Yep, that's good. Now you got to have your contacts closed, right? Yeah, how about all of them? Two out of three. 2 out of 3. 3 out of 3. Yeah, let's switch it around. Yeah, toggle it.
You hear it pull in?
Yeah. Can you feel it? Yeah, I can feel it pulling in. It's working. That's amazing. I don't know why we didn't get the right resistance across there. I think you got to work it relay. Yeah. Success.
Oh, you want to let it run for 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, let it heat up. Yeah, oh yeah. I like that. Lower the current and less heat. So all the contacts go all right when you're cycling?
I don't know about you guys, but I am incredibly happy that not only did we find one, that it also works. And this isn't a brand new one. This looks like it did come out probably out of another F-4 at some point in its life. But this is a working relay. This is a working relay, and this is going to go up there. So we will deal with this next week. We want a full day to deal with this, because shortly after we finish testing this, which we stress tested this as best we can by letting it run for over 5 minutes, keeping an eye on the temperature. It barely got warm. We measured the current, which this thing is drawing 0.11 amps, which translates to about 13 watts of power. And with the amount of cooling that's normally in Bay 19 up there, perfectly fine for that application. Now, so yes, very, very happy that we have a working relay again. So some of the other things that we did here, let me show you. So we took advantage of the fact that the F-100 is not in this hangar and cleaned up the floor. It may not look like it, but that is significantly less messy with how much oil that does leak out of that thing over time. And so, yes, we spent some time in there cleaning up since the jet's out of the hangar, that is. So, it's good stuff. Now, the airport's still doing some work in here, so we're not moving the airplane back in yet. And I'll probably film that if I'm available. But if you notice that these lines down here on the floor, this is one of the things with the F-100 that makes her difficult, especially compared to the F-4. The F-4 is very easy in comparison to get into the hangar. So if you notice here, this is where the nose gear is supposed to be, and the white stripes in the back there, and over near the tug just in front. All three landing gear wheels have to be on the mark. I mean, we have maybe 4 or 6 inches either direction, either left or right, in order for that to actually fit in the hangar and close the door. So yeah, that's something else that we took care of while we had the time today. All right, so the doors are shut. She's safely tucked away. Got all the equipment rolled back in. And so yes, the relay will be next week's project to change that out. And if we have the time next week to do the electrical system checkout and to make sure that everything works like it's supposed to. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.